Hey guys, Invader Kim here with a new video about PAX Day. I just wanted to go over the announcement from this morning and share my thoughts on it. First off, they are asking for feedback on your favorite weapon on their Discord via a poll. If you could swing by to input your own preference there, I'm sure it is appreciated. They are also asking for information about named enemies, specifically having issues finding named enemies in dungeons, ruins, caves, and ring forts. There's a thread for that too. My group always seems unlucky in dungeons, so I'll be trying to find specifics from my own runs if possible to help out there. If there is a bug they haven't tracked down yet, I definitely want to help figure that out if possible, because I do know from personal experience it is super disappointing to run a full dungeon and not see a named boss at all. I know they can't make them all 100% spawns in there, but if they can at least guarantee 1 to 2 per dungeon or something, that wouldn't be bad. They did mention some interesting information about their dungeons in this post though, which I think is worth mentioning. Some facts. Named enemies have a certain percent chance to spawn, and a spawn timer as well. There is a minimum of 4 spawns of named enemies in all rivulets and temples. This means the likelihood of encountering no named enemies is unlikely, but not impossible. The percent and timer I knew about, but having a minimum of 4 spawns of named per rivulet or temple is interesting. There are more than 4 bosses per dungeon, but knowing there's a chance for at least 4 every time you go in, someone better at math can probably hash out the odds better than myself. I do know we have been extremely unlucky in some runs, only finding 1 boss, even after doubling back multiple times to other spawn locations after they've respawned. So again, if there is a bug there, or if we just really have the worst luck, it'd be interesting to see if something is actually not working correctly. They're also asking about the ring forts and other points of interest on the maps, which is nice. I know there's only a chance for boss spawns in the open world as well, but man, is it awful when you go to farm 1 boss and it takes hours for it to spawn even once. It starts making you question if you're at the correct tower at all. It's a tough balance, I know, to increase the boss spawns without making them extremely farmable and broken. I don't envy the devs there. Okay, let's get on to the fun part for me, pictures. They've shown us some of what the World team has been working on, and I know this will be underwhelming to a lot of people. We want huge updates for this game, and I'm right there with you. I love this game, and I want some more content to sink into. But I'm okay with them working on finishing things up and making it look pretty at the same time. Of course, they have multiple teams working on different things. That's how companies work. What they are showing us here is just what is finalized and what they want to tease us with. A lot of the content we want is not easily seen visually. I get that they want to show us something that looks pretty, but they are still teasing us in some of these pictures with new content if you look closely. I just wanted to mention with the leather materials because I am not a hunter in real life and I had to look up what sinew actually was. I saw this picture and it gave me Another Life flashbacks, if you've ever seen that show. I don't want to spoil it, but yuck. I absolutely do not want to see these in game on the ground. The crafting components look fine, as well as carpentry. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Vials for extracts is where it gets interesting. I actually love the different extract icons in game. There are some super cool looking ones in there. What they're showing here is not as cool, which is a little disappointing, but seeing as everything drops as a bag right now, it will be great to see the difference if you ever drop them on the floor. You can also see different kinds of bottles, which is cool and could possibly be showing the different level tiers. The most important thing to note is that there are 48 bottles in the picture, but only 28 extracts in game currently. This brings me to another picture here and we'll skip ahead for it. The potions picture is labeled as health, protection, and stamina potions. As you all know, we only have health and stamina currently, so protection potions will be a cool addition. Most of these current trade skills are all very bare bones, and you see that the most in alchemy and jewel crafting. Alchemy looks like it'll get some love here soon, and if you look at this potion picture, I can guess based on the colors, so this could be wrong. The top set of potions look like stamina, the bottom are health, and the rest all look like protection potions based on their spiky textured glass. Fire, poison, cold, mental, pierce, slash, and blunt are what you can get resistances for from various foods and drinks right now. I hope they will be introducing potions for each of these damage types too. There's also the health potion versus health tonic debate. Currently, these 2 potions do exactly the same thing. It would be nice if they made health potions give you a certain percent of your max health back immediately, and the tonics give you some health regen over time. That's usually how it works in other games, so I'm hoping they'll be swapping things around once they implement these other potions into the game, so we'll have even more variety of potions. The glass picture is also a little teaser. We only have 2 kinds of glass currently, so there's at least something beyond pure glass planned based on this picture. Whether that's for higher workbenches, or maybe window decorations, who knows? The leather components look good. It looks like small and large, rough and regular animal hides. The top right piece, I have no idea what that is, but maybe it's part of a pauldron. The gems is where it gets interesting again. There are a lot of minerals here, and I asked AI to help identify some of them because I know nothing of gems and ores and how they actually look in real life. This is what the AI said, but it's not a complete list due to the picture quality and the fact it's a game, not real life specimen. Currently, we only have a few different types of gems in game, and they all drop as bags, so it's nice to see they're planning to add more variety to the types of ores and gems we will be finding. This might also hint at more mineable nodes we'll be getting in the future, and more jewelry options. A possible overhaul to jewelry is exciting, as right now it is very hard to level as well as doesn't offer anything useful besides looks. Clearly a placeholder trade skill, so an overhaul to it would be amazing to make it actually worth grinding up. The fact that they are working on mineral assets, to me, implies they know they need to make some adjustments for this trade skill, as it is super bare minimum right now. I've mentioned it before in comments, but I really hope jewelry will become a very involved trade skill and another way to imbue magic onto gear and jewelry pieces way down the road. Finishing up, tailoring doesn't look like there's anything new there. I will state again that this seems pretty lackluster to people expecting huge updates. I have never mentioned my thoughts on their roadmap or anything, so I will just plainly state them here. They mentioned they had a year, at least, of early access planned for this game. Bare minimum. I know that we, as a society, are very update driven and need something new to sate us so we don't get bored of games in 2 weeks. Personally, I grew up on Ragnarok Online, which is a very grindy Korean MMO. I am used to slower updates and grinding a lot for little gain. That game sparked my love for MMOs, but I also think it helps me a lot even now as an adult because I love to grind in games. I want to max everything, but I don't mind taking a while to do that. Anyways, my thoughts on this game and how I'm playing it and why I'm not bored or sad that they aren't doing something huge right now. They have 1 year to do something big for the game. I know they mentioned they may possibly wipe during early access, and definitely will once the game officially launches. Whether that's a full wipe during early access or just world resets, but you keep your characters, who knows? I'm not overly hyping myself up for huge updates every 2 weeks. That's just asking for disappointment when they can't work that quickly. Actually, I think it's terrible for the game in general, and I hope that most people can see through the hype train and stop filling their expectations so high just to be disappointed every time they do a quality of life update, and not something major. That kills player bases faster than anything else, in my opinion. This doesn't even just go for PAX Day specifically. I think we as gamers are also part of the problem. Because a couple decades ago, you buy a game and it's complete. Now, you buy a game and it's a work in progress. This game specifically launched as early access with the hopes of getting live testing done for their game so they can improve it faster than just opening up for a week or two every 6 months or so. How much slack you give them in that is up to you, but I feel like one larger update every 2 to 3 months with smaller bug fixing, world meshing, little tweaks here and there every couple weeks we can test out in between, then maybe a wipe at 6 months to refresh everything, and continue the small, lackluster updates that improve quality of life while playing up until official launch would be a perfectly acceptable early access to me. These boring little polishing updates don't seem like they are that valuable to people wanting everything now, but they will greatly improve the game for launch, and that's the real end goal of this early access. People tend to complain early and often about a lack of this or that in games, but don't seem to give any time for the devs to fix anything. It's just, you didn't meet my ridiculously high expectations for this specific thing? How dare you? I'm leaving and this game is trash. Nobody should play it. We have a lot of time, and maybe I will change my opinion on this down the line. But for right now, I think the pace in which they are working on this game is fine. You do not want a large enough update that requires a wipe too many times in early access. That will just burn people out of the grind. How many times will you want to rebuild your plots, regrind your trade skills, and relearn old tricks? There's a limit to all of these things in gaming, and although you may think you enjoy that dopamine hit of starting fresh, there's a fine line of balancing that goes into just how much is too little or too much. All the things they've shown in these pictures are neat, and their end goal is to polish their game and make it that much better for future updates and the official launch. These also look very nice, so I'm wondering if they have a display option planned for the future when trade becomes a thing, where what's in your stall will show up as all these icons that you drop on the ground currently. It'd be a more realistic feel walking through a trading port and physically seeing the items people are offering on their tables. That would be awesome, and I'm sure that that's probably something that they have planned, or they're trying to make possible. Anyways, I went on a bit of a rant there, but I hope you guys are enjoying PAX Day and will stick around to see what they will add in the future. Try not to get too bummed that these updates seem small. Greatness takes time, and I'm definitely sticking around to watch this game become great. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe so you can see when I put out a new video. As always, I'll be back with another video soon.